For the last 75 years, the FBI's most wanted list has helped bring down the nation's biggest criminals, with many of them being rappers. Just last year, they sentenced TK to 80 years in prison.
You're young, but you're gonna have to make better choices. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna sentence him to 80 years in the prison, give him credit for any time served.
But they were also able to sentence Tory Lanez to 10 years behind bars.
Meanwhile, musician Tory Lanez, convicted of rapper Megan Thee Stallion, sentenced to 10 years in prison. A judge in Los Angeles handing down that sentence today, culminating a case that filled gossip pages and polarized the music industry.
However, there are several rappers the FBI are still trying to give prison sentences to, just like Young and Ace.
Jacksonville rapper Young and Ace arrested by Jacksonville Beach police around midnight.
So Young and Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We have people that are always watching them.
Yeah, back behind.
Young and Ace's career is now over due to the statements made by the Jacksonville Police Department. It reads, Jacksonville rapper Young and Ace to be arrested in 2026. The sheriff announced several crimes in the area are due to Young and Ace and his team ATK. Expect a possible RICO, which resulted in Young and Ace being exposed in the Julio Foolio passing trial when someone close to Young and Ace ratted him out. The news wrote, witness who partied with Foolio the night of his passing reveals she dated Young and Ace's brother Trayvon Bullard. Fans believe testimony during Alicia Andrews' trial will lead to an ATK RICO.
Some point when you were younger, did you date someone who was associated with a rapper by the name of Young and Ace?
Yeah.
What is Young and Ace's real name?
Keontae.
Is that Keontae Bullard?
Mm-hmm.
And who were you dating that was related to Mr. Bullard?
Trayvon.
How is Trayvon Bullard related to Keontae Bullard?
They're brothers.
When did you date him?
In 2018.
And did something happen to him?
Yeah, he passed away.
When did he pass away?
June 5th, 2018.
And how did he pass away?
He got...
Was that a part of this rival?
I'm assuming.
One person even wrote, this Julio Foolio trial is crazy. Maybe the feds are watching. Whoever Young and Ace is, they're drafting up the RICO. Said ATK stands for Ace Top Getting. This really scared Young and Ace. And due to this, it was announced Young and Ace has now canceled all tour dates that were scheduled to take place this month, which is either Young and Ace preparing for the feds or the feds limiting his business income in preparation of a court case coming his way, limiting Young and Ace from being able to afford lawyers.
Jacksonville police and I don't know how they be doing this, but they always call around and cancel my shows. What's up with y'all? What's going on? Why y'all want to cancel my show? I don't even live there in Jacksonville. Why y'all want to cancel my? Why y'all trying to my money? Yeah, man, y'all trying to my life. Cause y'all worry about what I got going on. I ain't f***ing with y'all. Y'all canceled all my shows, but I just had a show in Temple. Y'all got my show canceled in Temple. I had a show in Virginia. I called, got my show canceled up. I had a show in Gainesville. Y'all canceled my show in Gainesville before. Daytona. You feel me? Like, what's really going on?
This is happening due to an investigation on those who actually did the crime against Foolio, where evidence shows Young and Ace sent a meme to one of the guilty men's phones right after the crime took place, making fun of Foolio.
The state presented a picture from Gathrigh's cell phone taken one day after the showing a bottle of Don Julio. The detective testified that, based on knowledge, this represents an insult to the rapper Julio Foolio.
This would be more than enough evidence for the Jacksonville police to call out Young and Ace by name, making it one of the biggest mistakes in rap history. They would go on to tell Young and Ace they're on him and it will get him soon.
Furthermore, it was found that the shooters are members of or affiliated with rival gangs of Jones that go by ATK and 1200. Jones was part of the 6 block. Detectives believe that the ATK and the 1200 worked together to target Jones as part of an ongoing feud in Jacksonville.
When that went live on the news, everyone began tagging Young and Ace, resulting in Young and Ace doing the unthinkable. He would begin panicking by tweeting out, "Ain't no such thing as ATK no more. That stuff is gone and over with," then released an Instagram video trying to run away from the gang problem.
I say no more ATK, it ain't no more. What you talking about? Niggas don't do shit. Niggas don't do shit. Niggas tripping. Everybody always got shit to say. These niggas. When the time for the Lord to be paid, where the niggas be at? Got all this shit to say. Where the niggas be at though? Where niggas be beginning to get buried? When the time to spend that money, where the niggas be? Always got shit to say, but don't be on shit, man. They don't get no feet wet or nothing, man. These niggas be talking, man. What's wrong with these, man? Talking about uncomfortable. Don't talk like me. Don't get the man. When I say no more ATK, ain't no more.
Ending his team ATK while already being investigated and being called out by the Jacksonville police probably isn't the smartest move. However, Young and Ace would try to solve the problem, hopping on several interviews, trying to give a better image to his career, but all it resulted in was DJ Academics asking him if he did it to Julio Foolio.
I mean, some people feel like you were behind that.
I'm sure, but people feel like I'm behind a lot, but I'm not. I'm not behind. I'm working. I'm grinding every day. I'm grinding. I got a family. I'm working. I'm grinding. I'm trying to be big. I'm trying to be big.
However, the police noticed what Young and Ace was trying to do, so they would double down. The news wrote, Jacksonville Sheriff TK Waters sends a PSA to Young and Ace and his crew after Julio Foolio's hitters were caught.
So Young and Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring those groups. We have people that are always watching them. I won't speak to the chief's investigation. That's up to TPD. We don't have an investigation on him right now. But he can't move around in Jacksonville without us knowing about it. And that's for the betterment of our community.
As according to the new police files released in 2026, Young and Ace played a major role in the passing of Julio Foolio, with Young and Ace even being told by one of the suspects what Foolio was saying in his final moments and so much more. To understand it all, we first need to review the police file of Foolio's passing, as the detail they gave was unbelievable. Julio Foolio, born June 21st, 1998, was involved in an ambushing by rival street members Sunday morning in Tampa. What was supposed to be his celebration weekend for his birthday ended up turning into the worst thing imaginable due to social media. Foolio and his crew rented an Airbnb for the weekend. Once arriving to the B&B, Foolio would post this to his Instagram story, getting the attention of Young and Ace.
Hey, the pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. DM me for the address or DM Foolio booking ESPN. I'm gonna put it right here. We just got here, bruh. You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up. We just got to this bit. Tampa, Florida, man. You already got to add it to the pool party. Push up at 5:30, man. Push up at 5:30, man. We finna get everything right. Push up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, man.
The party inside of the Airbnb only lasted 2 hours. Foolio would even share the inside of the party, showing everyone on his Instagram who was there and what they were doing. Meanwhile, on the other side of the phone, his ops were planning where this would be the first mistake of many for Julio Foolio. 1 hour later, the police then arrived to the Airbnb, calling the landlord of the home, who would then eventually kick Foolio and his crew out of the Florida crib. Foolio would once again go to his Instagram, posting his next move. This would be a poster for a nearby club, telling everybody to pull up while revealing the literal address of the club on the poster, trying to break the record on social media for the most location drops to his ops in one weekend, alongside his millions of followers. Once arriving to the club, he would make the biggest mistake of his life, this time sharing exactly where he is sitting inside of the club, telling everyone, "I'm going to the upstairs lounge."
We came deep for my birthday, man. Everybody coming up the stairs. Couch, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We deep as 20 deep, lit everywhere we go.
This gave the ops plenty of time to get together, figure out a plan, and park across the street using binoculars to keep an eye on the upstairs lounge. It was noted by street members that Julio was targeted on this night because Young and Ace put up $10,000.
Hey, on everything I love, bro. On the day homies, bro, I put it on everything, on my soul, on my kids. I'm the one that smacked Julio Fulio that night when he got at his birthday celebration, bro. You feel me? I ain't gonna show my face and give my identity away or nothing like that, but you know, I did that, you feel me? It was money on his head, you feel me? I rock with Ace and them boys, you feel me? ATK, you feel me? I be in Jacksonville heavy, you feel me? If you know, you know. But yeah, you feel me? I did that, you feel me? I handled that, cause, you know, Ace had that money on his head, you know, Ace had them put that 10K up, told me to slide, told me to cause you know he got tired of that nigga running his mouth playing all the time, you feel me? So what had to be done, you feel what I'm saying? So I just handled it, you feel me? It was what it is, bro.
Taking action on the 23rd day of the month was very important to Young and Ace and the ops, but more on that later. When Fulio and his crew were done at the club, they all gathered in the parking lot while his manager had to figure out a new place for everyone to stay. He would scope out a nearby Holiday Inn just down the street and they all began driving down. Little did Fulio know, a car filled to the brim with rival street members was parked just across the street. When arriving to the Holiday Inn, sources claim everything was silent. His manager went inside to book several rooms and everyone gathered out in the parking lot. This was until 2 cars filled with street members pulled into the parking lot, blocking the exit. They began using their firearms. Meanwhile, 3 people would jump the bushes who all had one job, finding Fulio and doing the act.
At 4:38, 3 cars exit a vehicle and walked in the direction of the hotel. They murdered Jones with a handgun and 2. This barrage of fire also struck 3 additional victims who miraculously survived this incident. Let's look at this video. This is at the hotel, and you can see the shooters are getting in position for their planned out.
During the Fulio trial, his cousin would explain the never-before-heard actions made while Fulio was being targeted. When the news wrote, Fulio's cousin, who was in the car with him when it happened, couldn't stop his tears while describing his final moments.
Okay. So you fell asleep after that, after he came back to the car, or you started dozing?
Yes.
Can you just tell the jurors what you saw inside of the car at that point? You said you saw Fulio laid out?
Yeah, first thing I saw Fulio laid out. I thought it was a car accident until I looked up, saw the booze, and I saw Jacob yelling.
Okay, so you thought it was a car accident, and then you looked up, saw the holes, and you saw Zay. Is that Xavier Edwards?
Yes.
You saw him covered in?
Yes.
Okay, so he wanted you to look at his head because he thought he had been hit, and then when you tried to do that, you saw the in your arm?
Yes.
Where were you?
Like on my...
Okay.
Do
you still have a scar from that? Okay. Do you recognize that as Charles Jones' black Charger?
Yes.
Okay. You okay?
I'm good.
You sure?
Yes.
Do you recognize the photograph?
Yes.
With the incident then going viral online, only 2 hours later, the news wrote, Young and Ace just dropped Do It, a direct diss track at Julio Fulio after his passing earlier today. Meanwhile, Young and Ace's right-hand man shared on Instagram an old King Von tweet reading, quote, "Game over, we won, stupid." In Young and Ace's song, which had a music video recorded only 2 hours after the crime occurred, he actually remixed Fulio's lyrics in his song When I See You. When Fulio rapped, went out to eat on his birthday, 4 hit, 3 passed in the worst way, he kept dissing on me, and now we're hitting 23. Meanwhile, Young and Ace rap, 4 in the car, 1 of them gone, 3 got hit, on the 23rd day of the month on Fulio's birthday. But if that wasn't weird enough, the police even found a live stream from Young and Ace with his mother the day after Fulio passed, literally laughing at him.
These are my best friend.
Hey, chat, y'all know what's going on though. Y'all stop playing with us, Talib. You talking for churches, but you know what the fuck going on, boy. Get on your boy.
And we want you to down
However, Young and Ace was not done yet. The news wrote shortly after, Julio's mom says she was targeted 8 times and allegedly named Young and Ace as the culprit.
So now she's a mother. She's not involved. She was a nurse or whatever the case is. This is what I hear. She got 8 times. The police showed up and asked her, "Hey, ma'am, who shot you?" Guess who she allegedly said shot her? Allegedly, she said, "I got shot by Young and Ace." Young and Ace was on some type of supervised release at the time. Police go, I guess his probation officer say, "Yo, you got to come in now," and they're about to lock up Young and Ace for shooting Fulio's mom.
But in the new 2026 files of Young and Ace, they found the exact reason why Fulio was targeted and how. 1 month before Fulio passed, he did an interview speaking on the beef in Jacksonville, where he reveals there was supposed to be a song made with both groups together to stop the crime.
No record. Y'all probably didn't know this. Even though I said what I said, bro. Me and J.Dot Breeze supposed to be doing a Stop the Violence song. We probably gonna get that shit in motion. And just get that shit out of the way for the kids, for the youth and shit. And yeah, we gotta make this look better, man.
You and J.Dot Breezy have a Stop the Violence record coming.
Yeah, that shit, it's talked about. I DM'd him about it. My big cousin wrote him about it too. He said he with it, I'm with it. But basically right now we trying to find a beat.
Investigators believe they have evidence proving that ATK pretended to drop the beef with Fulio so then he would let his guard down, which he definitely did by posting 50 IG stories in one night telling his exact location. Then they found another reason why ATK went after Fulio. This was a retaliation for a man named ATK Mitch who passed away in 2022. Because in April 2022, officers saw Fulio driving a Dodge Durango with an illegal window tint, where he would then be pulled over and questioned about the passing of ATK Mitch.
All right, so I ain't want to bring it up. I know you're gonna be upset. Mitch, there's some texts I want to talk to you real quick about what happened to Mitch.
How long that's gonna take?
Not that long. Depends on you. They just gonna ask what you know about what happened.
Once he was taken into the police car, he knew that he would be questioned and was quickly taken in to be interrogated.
I used to come to my mama's house. I used to stay on the corner. He used to come over there, show his, support.
What type of work do you do? What type
I'm an artist.
You're an artist. Yeah. Okay. As far as Mitch go, what are you hearing?
Nah, really, I was in Miami when I heard the news. You know what I'm saying? I was down making music, and I saw posting on Instagram, Mitch. Everybody, the whole Jacksonville, Mitch.
The detectives would start looking at who Fulio was to Mitch and how they knew each other, while also asking where Fulio was at the time of Mitch's passing.
All right, the reason why I'm here, I am lead on your friend's case.
Ooh.
You have a friend who recently got killed?
A lot of friends that
recently. Mitch.
Oh yeah.
So I'm lead on that. I don't know how close you guys were. Can you kind of give me just run down on y'all relationship when y'all met? How long y'all been partners or whatever?
But at this point, Fulio was a master at interrogations. He would continue to tell the detectives that he didn't know anything, causing them to get pretty angry.
Guys, if you may know or hear something, then that'd be helpful as well. Because if you know his mom, you can sit up there and call his mom, then I'm pretty sure you would want her to have some answers as well.
My little brother, I don't know who did. I don't know. I ain't here. That's what I'm saying. You will never know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. No, I just heard it. They say, little brother. I'm like, you know, so I'm in Miami at the time though.
You ain't tired of that, man?
Yeah. But I'm none of this.
While he continued to shut down any involvement in Mitch's passing, they'd ask Fulio why his music is related to so much crime in the area, as his lyrics literally describe how certain crimes went down that no one else should even know about.
Do you think that your music or your ways or the way you conduct yourself through your music had anything to do with him?
Nah, because even before I was rapping, it was... You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say it's my music, that's why somebody, you get what I'm saying?
Okay, do you think it influenced someone or triggered someone, like the way y'all going back and forth with it? Do you feel that way?
No. A song can't make no
With the new police file then going viral online, it would get Young and Ace's attention, who would then speak on Foolio during an IG Live, almost in a mocking way, but also trying to praise him like they were friends, hoping the police would just leave him alone.
What you think about Foolio thing, cuz? That's sad, twin. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all boys in the street, y'all didn't leave the streets alone, twin. All condone is that, but y'all just gotta stay. Y'all gotta. It's so funny, cause me, bro, like we cool, like we was cool and you feel me? Me and him, like we cool. I was just so funny. I was just talking to them. I'm like, bro, you gotta stop the way, bro. You know, love y'all here. Like, stop the way, rich. Like, you know, I with your rich. Stop the way.
But knowing how the streets work, DJ Akademiks would then go on to tell Young and Ace, you could say whatever you want online. The reality is, you're likely next to be dealt with. But like the video and comment if you agree. I'm gonna read them all.
Wack 100 recently spoke about you, and he says you're next.
Why would you say that, bro? Why would you wish that for me?
Well, I don't know if he was wishing that. I think he's just thinking about, like, you know, in terms of, you know, people want to get the target, like the high profile target, and if Foolio is out the way, now they're like, well, the only way to make another thing is you.
However, due to the crime Lil Baby committed, he practically fell into the FBI's lap.
And baby, you gotta respond to it. I won't make this loud. You gotta respond to this.
Atlanta police are blaming a local rapper's music video for the deaths of two.
The bullets, it was nothing but bullets, pop, 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 pop.
At least 25 shots fired.
Yeah, it was terrible.
After DJ Akademiks went on live revealing that he was jumped by 4PF goons, it would be announced the feds have been investigating Lil Baby, building a case of evidence against him. This new beef with DJ Akademiks will likely spark the first set of arrests in 4PF, making its way to Lil Baby. To understand the current evidence file against him, it's important to know how Akademiks exposed him, beginning with the tweet of, Akademiks confirmed that he got slapped by Lil Baby's cameraman K Rich in Miami. Here's a picture of Akademiks' right-hand man AJ with the police officer after the situation, showing the altercation was big enough to the point where the police even arrived at the scene. But later on that night, K Rich would brag about getting Akademiks while on live.
So boom, and he said something, bro, I swear to God, right hand of God, I smacked the right hand of God, bro, I smacked.
You smacked Akademiks?
Yes, and then listen, after I smacked him, listen.
Yo, Lil Baby, eat a. I'm not even gonna address it, Lil Baby, you eat a, because I don't know this. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm getting that, Lil Baby, because I've been waiting for this. I can't take it out on a I don't know. I'm up tens of millions of dollars. I'm taking it out on this boss. Yo, Lil Baby, if this is what you believe or he believe, both y'all eat it. Whatever y'all think, that's what it is. Both y'all.
With some fans asking, what does this have to do with Lil Baby, Akademiks would expose it all, beginning with the tweet of, DJ Akademiks claims Lil Baby's camp paid him $30,000 to chill on album criticism, then allegedly backdoored him anyway by sending K Rich to swing on him.
The Lil Baby gotta drop his new album. And I'm gonna start really getting on business. Yo, Lil Baby, you and your team paid me $30,000 to keep quiet about your motherfucking album. And I sat there and I realized, I said, well, if you pay me $30,000, there ain't no way you sent a come swing on me. Why would you do that? Don't make no sense. $30,000 you could pay for a hit. Why the would you send to come swing on me for pennies and to clean your balls in your drawers and then pay me $30,000? I got the receipts posted just. Why would you pay me afterwards? Cause y'all whole demeanor was an act. You a wave, and I said I'll fall back. I said I can't lie to, but I'll fall back. And y'all paid me to do it. Y'all paid me.
But now, since Lil Baby wants to play games with DJ Akademiks, he would then go on to say they're gonna have to pay him $300,000 to not speak about Lil Baby's next album.
Yo, baby, you gonna have to pay me to get off your for this next time. Y'all paid me 30 bands already. The price is now 300 bands. Straight up. The price done went up 300 bands. You have this who you sent. Yo, Lil Baby, stop the bullshit. You sent this to go do this bullshit. When I called you up, you acted like, oh, wait, what happened about? Yo, do you know this K Rich? I call every in Atlanta. You know what they say? But that's his assistant. That's his name. Wait, he act like you don't know him? Yo, I talked to him. He say, Lord, pay me for your album tonight. Yo, I'm on your forever. Remember that. So listen, I'm only saying this because I think this little K-Rich thing, I'm going to go back and forth with him. Let me tell you this, I'm going to cost your boss $1 million. I did this to the best of them, and I'm going to do it to him.
Where it would then be this moment when investigators who have been watching Lil Baby got involved. Because when academics confronted Lil Baby, he revealed during the altercation, K-Rich was claiming this is 4PF while he was jumping academics. Lil Baby then started to get nervous on the phone.
And baby, you gotta respond to it. I'm gonna make this loud. You gotta respond to this. You're gonna either be pussy or you're gonna stand on it and say, I did backdoor that. You thought it was cool? When I asked you in the morning, you know what you said? So the first thing I said, yo, bro, you know what came up to me? He said some 4PF. You know the first thing you said? Yo, act, chill, act, man, you on that police. You scared of this 4PF. Bet, cool. I say, yo, nah, baby, like this was. So he's like, act, what? You acting dumb.
He got nervous on the phone because this will make it easier for police to raid 4PF due to now multiple members being dangerous. This is terrible for Lil Baby because what's already coming his way. Currently going through the Atlanta court system right now is news of an investigator is on the stand. We are listening to wiretap calls. Someone mentioned that Lil Baby had tickets on some people's heads.
Like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. They got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders?
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Or
and who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
Meaning Lil Baby placed money to have people dealt with, similar to Lil Durk's M for Hire, which is exactly what he just did to DJ Academics, but on a much smaller scale. Academics would then explain the entire city of Atlanta is getting ready to pursue a 4PF and Lil Baby RICO case on multiple charges.
So there's this journalist, he's out of Atlanta. Well-reputed journalist. His name is George Cheedy. Like, he was the person who was very accurate on predicting that YSL was going to get indicted in a RICO. He's an Atlanta journalist, certified. He's really good. He's came out and he said that the Atlanta Public Defenders Council, like the office, they're basically their specialized unit for Georgia's Public Defender's Office. The one the unit that specializes on gang cases says the office is actively preparing for a racketeering indictment on the 4PF and OMF case. Now, I don't know what OMF is, and that he expects Lil Baby to be indicted.
This resulted in the entire internet going into a frenzy, even getting the attention of Young Thug, who tweeted, "This is the biggest liar in the DA office," exposing what investigator Marissa looks like, while also calling her out. DJ Academics would even further explain Marissa's involvement on trying to lock up Lil Baby.
What Young Thug did to have and this is how you know this 4PF is real. Young Thug posted the woman. This is Marissa Vivierdo. He said, biggest liar in the DA office. He posted her, okay? And then he also reposted, all my homies hate Vivierdo. Now, this is someone who is a officer of the law. This is someone who is a government official. When you do that and you're under probation, the government is gonna be like, oh, you sending a smoke signal that people should hurt this woman? That's why they're doing a motion to revoke his shit. Why did he do this? Because she's testifying in the OMF case, and she's basically saying, yo, OMF and 4PF, Lil Baby and them, they're beefing and is dying, and indictments finna come down.
But this is where Lil Baby would make the biggest mistake of his entire career. While being investigated, getting into new beefs, he would then suddenly end his record label 4PF. As it would be announced, Lil Baby has ended his record label 4PF to avoid it being labeled as a street team, which in my opinion makes him look even more guilty. Like the video if you agree.
First 4 Pockets Full had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because the shit that be going on, and I had to start learning that like other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't.
Right.
Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police, it's just period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
Ending his record label and street team while already being investigated makes him look extremely guilty. However, the police noticed that he was trying to run away, so they would call out the charges Lil Baby is being targeted for by writing the statement. The Atlanta Police Department is calling out Lil Baby, saying that his actions led to the passing of 2 individuals last summer. During a press conference on Wednesday, the Atlanta PD announced 7 arrests have been made in connection to the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Major Ralph stated the incidents were a part of a team incident that started at one of Lil Baby's music videos last May, where 3 people were injured, while strongly saying, quote, "This team will work relentlessly to hold you accountable," referring to Lil Baby.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions, and you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
Lil Baby was recording a music video on an ops block outside of a taco shop, but pay close attention to this one specific lady that was featured on the news.
Between the bullets, it was nothing but pop, 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 pop.
At least 25 fired.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just a concert. I was waiting for Little Baby to come buy my tacos up.
That same lady that was featured on the news clip accidentally told the ops that Lil Baby was there. She posted on her Facebook a video of Lil Baby at the taco stand, recording a music video 3 cars deep, super excited that she was likely gonna have a good day of business.
Where y'all at? We over here kicking it. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. You know how we do it, that slapping taco. Baby, there he go, y'all see him? He came to get him some tacos, baby. Y'all better pull up, cause you already know how we doing this slapping tacos, baby.
According to investigators, the ops weren't even aware that Lil Baby was there filming. It was the Facebook video that got the attention of them, making them pull up with firearms and clearing the scene. However, the concerning part is the feds are blaming Lil Baby, which would in the end essentially ruin his entire rap career. Even a viral tweet read, "If Lil Baby does get RICO'd, his career is done. Bro's music is already hanging on by a thread," where academics said the exact same thing.
Man, you better listen. I don't know if Young Thug's still just on a vacation. Tell him you need him. You need him for a verse, a song. You probably need him to pop out his loud for you, because it would have made it all better. You need this, okay? Please. Yo, the crazy thing is Lil Baby confidently be previewing these. It's like, yo, they're hot. Yo, chat, I feel like the Monstars hopped out of one of them New Jersey drones and f***ing grabbed Lil Baby and shook the talent out of him. I don't know what I'm hearing thus far, chat.
But what if I were to tell you Lil Baby is being targeted for one specific reason? It all begins with a Young Thug interview talking about Gunna.
I just like to help people, you know.
One of those artists was
Gunna, you guys did a ton of songs together.
Yeah.
Very successful on your label.
Yeah.
He was arrested about the same time as you. I think a lot of people wonder what that relationship is like now.
Yeah, I know everybody wondering that.
What's it like?
I don't know.
He says, quote, "I know everyone wonders that, and it resulted in a tweet going viral reading, 'Once y'all learn the effects of Gunna snitching in the YSL trial, then you'll realize why Thug and Baby will never be cool with him again. Go learn.' This would end up creating a viral Reddit thread, breaking down what truly is going on, starting out with academics revealing the Atlanta DA is placing a secret trap on all Atlanta rappers. Only 1 month after Gunna snitched, it reads, Lil Baby was arrested Monday night for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit.
I need 20 bands, call the number for me. Hey, security, the black guy, call the number for me. They locking me up for a gun, but I got license. Security, I give you 200 bands a year, I swear to God, security. Security, I give you 200 bands a year. You don't make 200 bands here. Hey, lady, my check leave at 9:10. Nah, check me good. I got a in my nuts. Check me good. You on the camera? I got a in my nuts. Check me good. I got a. Alright, y'all let me in that car. Shoot myself in the head. Y'all fire.
But he wasn't arrested for the concealed firearm. It was more of a warning by the Atlanta DA. That same week, academics revealed on stream that Fort BF was on the same RICO document that YSL was on.
I've heard two of them. Like, I've heard the two of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever. But these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by three letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
But once the YSL RICO trial was over, academics was then able to fully reveal that Lil Baby's recent legal issues seemed to be a warning for a massive RICO charge coming his way.
I'm going to tell you some things that you're going to have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fonnie Willis started targeting YSL, Fonnie Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Thug. She got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were going to get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way. Except, from what I heard, the feds told them, it's okay, we got it. So the feds told them, like, it's okay if you dismiss the charge. So they didn't go that hard with trying to get Durk, especially after Von died. They dropped that case. They dropped it, but the feds has realized we gonna get Durk eventually. Doing the math? You see why Lil Baby was moving the way he been? Because Lil Baby hasn't been on Fed watch. He's been on county state watch.
Making many wonder, was this the beginning of the ruined friendship between DJ Academics and Lil Baby? With Academics revealing to the entire world private information of a legal battle coming Lil Baby's way. Then just most recently, Lil Baby was arrested for an illegal window tint, with the official footage being released.
Huh? Man, you know why I pull you over? These windows, they tinted. You can't see nothing out.
I'm a celebrity, man. Nobody can't see me. Give me my ticket. Let me ride.
I don't know what celebrity you are.
It don't matter. They give me my ticket. Let me ride. I can't have nobody seeing me right here. I'm gonna let my window up.
Oh, yeah, you good, but you can't have that tinted window, man.
Alright, they give me the ticket. Have a good day, man.
Now, who are you? You say you,
My name Lil Baby.
Okay, I just need you to sign right here, okay?
You got a pen? 827. You don't be want to have these. You gotta have tickets in Atlanta. These folk crazy. I take a ticket, then somebody follow me home.
Put a 32.
Huh?
You can put a 32. If you got a medical exception, you can get the 10.
However, a rapper who has been wanted for years is Kodak Black.
Hey, look, come here. I'm gonna arrest you on alright? This is just for the time being. Come on, spread your
Kodak Black, Officials say Bill Capri, better known as Kodak Black, violated the conditions of his pretrial release.
The mistake Kodak Black just made put his career in serious jeopardy. News outlets reported the Florida rapper was set to face court hearings related to trafficking and possession charges, where lawyers involved in the case indicated that because he is a repeat offender of this crime, a prison sentence was more likely than placement in a rehab program. Attention increased after Kodak's actions before the hearing when he appeared on Instagram Live discussing his use of a specific substance, the same substance that they made on the well-known TV series Breaking Bad.
Yeah, must be off today because he eating good. What you mean? You mean like as in like I must be off it, or I must like not be on it? What you trying to say? Whoever the his name, Mellow Fellow. You know me. I eat good. I eat good every day, all day, yeah, man. High or not, you heard? I'm being a. I tried it though.
You said keep.
I don't keep for real. But I'm gonna tell y'all this right here, right now. Man, everybody be on. It's nothing. You feel me? That's why I said that. That's why I had said that, you feel me?
However, the court hearing did not go in his favor. A lawyer present in the courtroom later noted that conversations between prosecutors and law enforcement suggested that Kodak would not be given another opportunity and would have to face a prison sentence. The length of the sentence was not specified, but after the court hearing, Kodak appeared to be going through it during a TikTok live where fans really got concerned.
Yes. I like that. All right, DP, thank you for this.
Yeah, you was
Up next, I want to play some Drew Hill. I got Camper, I got Anita Baker, all on the way. My name is QB Rodriguez. I'm in for Shelby Russian today. Hot 105. Russian today. Hot 105.
Like the video if you're concerned, because a lot of rappers in the industry are, including Boosie, who addressed Kodak's case and even expressed his concern. Boosie stated that if Kodak was sent to prison, his time there would be very difficult, referencing Kodak's past association with Tekashi 6ix9ine and creating a hit song together.
You know, Kodak done been in jail, bro, so that was a detrimental move to him, bro. Like 6ix9ine, I'm gonna tell you this, Vlad, and I'm pretty sure 6ix9ine knows this too. 6ix9ine is the most hated person in prison.
Really?
You hear 6ix9ine name damn near every other day. When people looking at their case, this motherfucker 6ix9ine. Like he is hated, he's hated. He's hated, bro. What Kodak did, he's gonna have to stand on that. He better stay out of, I got 9 calls from the feds, from the state, everything. Like Boost. Is it true? I know people are, bro, they gonna get on Kodak for that, bro. If he ever...
More concerns would rise from the court case by the fact that Kodak was arrested on this exact charge only 2 years ago in a separate incident. This makes him a repeat offender because on February 28, 2023, it was reported that Kodak admitted to being under the influence of drank while denying the use of other substances after pleading not guilty on possession and firearm charges.
I was on the and I was asleep in front of my family house, bro. That's it. I was on that drink, sleep in front of my people's house. But that ain't illegal. And that ain't illegal. I mean, so all that shit is just the process that it had to be in other mud shot. The process that even though like bogus is I'm plastered all over the internet. Then on top of that, it's like, bro, like, I'm Haitian. I mean, and then it's just like my era, bro. Like, nah, like, man, you better off.
Shortly after that IG Live, federal authorities would raid Kodak's Florida home and they arrested him instantly. This resulted in Kodak hiring his attorney, Brian Cohen, who would then secure a deal to send Kodak to a rehab program rather than serving a prison sentence, potentially avoiding a 2-year sentence.
Kodak, whose real name is Bill Capri, faced a judge Tuesday in Orange after turning himself in following an arrest warrant issued for violation of his pretrial release. Authorities said he tested positive during a random test earlier this month.
What is the unjust and not right about this situation?
Black, addressing the judge after the pretrial release technician testified he may have mixed up the samples between Black and another patient.
There's no way you tested positive. We can resolve that by way of a hair sample, and that'll clear you.
Judge Barbara Duffy then asking for a hair sample today to clear up the alleged mix-up, which Black refused, rather choosing to check into the Legacy Rehabilitation Facility for 30 days as part of his pretrial release.
After being charged with that exact same offense, federal prosecutors compiled an evidence file documenting Kodak's behavior since leaving the rehab. The file was intended to show the court that Kodak could not comply with conditions of release and should be sentenced to prison. When Kodak entered the rehab following his first trafficking and possession case, sadly his music career stalled for roughly a year. But during that period, he would make major changes to his life, focused on writing new music. He even exercised. But after he was released from rehab, he would then drop his hit song titled Walk. This accumulated approximately 33 million views, and it marked a return to his success. When he was going viral for his new song, he would then appear on a Kai Cenat live stream where he would take a certain substance before going on, which resulted in him screaming, scaring Kai Cenat, sweating a lot, and making weird movements.
You can't always say it, but at times when it feels good, that's when you say it sometimes. Yeah.
I thought your name was Bubba. Hey, oh.
Comment if you watched that live stream live, because a lot of the viewers that did attended Kodak Black's IG Live the following morning, where he would have to address the situation and apologize to all of the fans that were upset that Kodak went back to using right after being released.
Say y'all people like who be on that, y'all be on all type, y'all be on say all type of stupid. But I take you one and y'all be so hurt. Y'all wanna like it anyway. Yeah. Everybody else who be coming like on that timing, they ain't got no motion. They broke, they hurt, they something, or they trying to come into life some kind of way and trying to like look any type of little. Yeah, I could come in that way. Oh, I think you need help. Oh, look, bro. I try to like, and then you don't think.
With the public reaction being mostly negative, with many expressing their disappointment that he appeared to break his sobriety, Kodak would attempt to enter another live stream, but this time by himself. Seemingly attempting to capitalize on the growth of streaming, he would light up his live stream, where he would then be seen climbing onto his kitchen counter, acting very odd, almost like he was doubling down on what he did with Kai Cenat.
This got the sentence. What you want a Mac? Got some sentence. Got the sentence. You been to the boy. Got some sentence. Boy, want raise you on your back. Yeah, stuck on the Mac. Hey, stuck on the Mac. Then a bed rest. Then a long nap. But she took it out of the way and you can't do it back. You can't help.
The behavior would continue to escalate, where Kodak would later go on live speaking on how he wants to just pass on.
Everybody getting while we waiting on other people too, right? Other people, they don't know how to let time do its thing. Everybody like let time do it, bro. Time is the best, what you call it, whether it's gonna heal or whatever it's gonna like, let time do it. You gotta be patient. Love is patient, love is kind. Like I'm saying, it makes absolutely zero sense, no sense at all. Or try to approach the situation with any type of aggression. The whole world on. Everybody on. Your man on. Your on. Everybody getting. While we waiting, while we just down here waiting on when.
The worst part of Kodak Black saying this during a live stream is that it actually started from a viral tweet on Twitter. It reads, quote, "Every time I see Kodak Black, I get so sad. That man has like 4 baby moms and not one of you greedy women care about him for real, because why are y'all not helping him? You're probably sitting around waiting for him to pass on," which is exactly the words Kodak used during the live. But this was only the beginning, because more tweets, a quote, "Every day I see a new video of Kodak strung out, not even acting like a human. Is somebody gonna help him?" Which was a reaction to a viral video of Kodak Black eating chicken in the middle of the road, not even looking like himself at all.
The wrong thing. Take a seat next to him. Take a seat next to him. Enjoy that food. Enjoy that. Take a seat next to him, brother.
Oh, hold on, please. I want to be part of. Bro, I want to join them, bro. I want to be down here. Hold on.
But shortly after, Kodak would then hint towards why he's been feeling so down, sharing that he's never really felt true love before.
I know girl treated you right, never, bro. I never had a bit of love. I never experienced love before. I never experienced it. I never experienced it, bro. I never experienced it, bro. I never did, bro. I never did, bro. I never experienced love, bro. I never did, bro. I never had it. I never had it, bro. I never had it, bro. I never had it.
This would result in Kanye West reacting, trying to save Kodak Black.
Okay, so I thought Kodak was in Miami. I see he's in Atlanta. So I'm gonna flight down to Atlanta right now and do something. So anybody that's already down in Atlanta that knows him and knows anything about him, I know I said rappers and all that, but right now I need y'all, man, to like really go and do something. Like we can't. I know y'all think I'm crashing out. Y'all, you see me talking, I'm expressing myself. And look, man, please don't. I know I said a lot, and just let me go down there and go help this man out.
However, it's what happened later on in that same night that confirmed Kodak needs serious help. Kodak Black was seen pacing around his room, claiming that he is Drake's favorite rapper. Now, he definitely could be, but this is more of a confirmation that he's hanging out with the wrong crowd. This should not have ever become public. His own friend filming him being strung out, pacing around his room, acting very odd, rather than trying to save him.
I'm Drake's favorite rapper.
Who?
I'm his favorite rapper.
You Drake's favorite rapper?
Yeah.
Nah.
He always say that, even his people always say that. They always say that. Even when he ain't, you know what I mean? Even when he ain't around, so shit like, oh, no, it's for real, bro.
This would get many reactions from many people in the industry, such as Boonk, who couldn't believe that video even was released to the public, so he would send a message out to Kodak on his Instagram.
But right now, man, we worried about you. You don't look too healthy. And from the outside looking in, it's obvious that you're and I don't believe for 1 second you just doing for your own enjoyment. Nah, you trying to find something to fill up that void that's within your chest. See, I've been where you at right now, but by the grace of God, I'm clean. Them strongholds have been pulled down. Them chains are broken. So I'm qualified to talk about this. You got to make a decision, bro. You got too many people looking up to you. And from one father to another, got to set the right example for your son. This coming from somebody who genuinely cares. So if you come across this video, you want to sit at the table, break bread, man, holla at me.
But then only 1 week later, things would get worse again. This time, a fan would interact with Kodak at a local football game, telling him that he loves it when he is sober, which resulted in Kodak Black getting extremely upset, hopping on IG Live and giving out this message.
Say, I love when Kodak's sober. Change sober. I love sober. That nigga's going for two. I know it's sober. For what? For what? Look at all this money. Look at all this cash. Sober for what? Too young sober. Young sober.
It was at this point where many fans ended up giving up on Kodak, unfollowing him on IG Live, not listening to any new music. They didn't want to support what Kodak was doing. But everything changed when he then showed up to a Baltimore Ravens game. Once again looking completely out of it near fans, a tweet read, "NFL fans are worried for rapper Kodak Black as he appeared off while showing love to star quarterback Lamar Jackson in the Ravens."
Hey Kodak, what you gotta say about the Ravens, Big G? I love the Ravens. Hello. Hey, what about that boy LJ, man? What you gotta tell the flock about that boy LJ, man? Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Hey, that boy Yak in the city. Yeah, Yak in the city. I live out here. Hello. Yeah, Yak in the city. Baltimore, let him know.
This would be the final straw for many in the industry. Watching Kodak go down a terrible spiral, it was clear that somebody had to step in and help. When two OGs in the industry, Wallow and Gillie, would take their chance. It was announced Wallow and Gillie give life advice to Kodak Black, saying don't ever doubt yourself, you got them babies counting on you, referring to Kodak's family.
Don't ever doubt yourself, you got them babies counting on you. There's gonna be times where you're gonna doubt yourself, you're gonna be in pain, but them babies counting on you, you gotta be here. And I'm telling you that because a lot of people get around you and they see your success and they say, oh man, a lot of people need you, and they yes man you. I ain't here to yes man you. You know me, every time we connect with you, you know I got love for you. Not because I need you, I got love for you because you're a young cat and I was young, Gil was young. Live. And I'm telling you that because you see that love that lady get, you see how you light up when I talk about your babies? Live. These people want to laugh, they want to joke, they want to criticize. They don't know your pain, I don't know your pain. But I know one thing, them babies counting on you.
With them trying to reason with Kodak on his recent struggles, they're making it very clear to him there's a lot of people that need him. According to Google, Kodak has 5 children, while also being the main breadwinner for his own personal family. But sadly, this wouldn't even change much, because the following day after, he would end up being invited to the White House, and this is how he acted.
So like, imagine a world if all of us was just one color. If all of us was just blue or green. Oh, if everybody was smart, you gotta have some dumb people. Oh, what if everybody was rich? Who's gonna take the trash out?
This would be a key moment in Kodak Black's career. This would go mega viral online, so much so that Kodak needed to respond. He would apologize to everyone and then start to claim that he wants to use his influence for change.
I'm honestly, I'm sorry to everybody. I'm sorry to the people who I heard it. I'm sorry if you don't understand me. I'm sorry if you just don't like me. I'm sorry, baby. And I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to everybody that I've wronged. And I'm just sorry to all the times I made my mom cry. And I'm sorry to all the girls whose heart I broke. I'm sorry to Young Miami, you know what I'm saying, for kind of disrespecting her and stuff like that. She accepted my apology.
She did?
To even later on that night, he would finally respond to Kanye West after almost a month, sharing this message on his IG Live story.
Yeah. Kanye a real one. You know why you a real one? Cause I'm some whole kind of Kanye the only did it because he know he ain't a lot of the other look at me. I'm clean, yeah. And why Kanye
Everything shared will likely be shared with the judge in his newest case, trying to show that he cannot be trusted out in the free world or he needs to be locked up to finally learn a lesson. Comment what way you think Kodak needs to be punished, and like the video if you want to see him be healthy again. Curious how many of you do. However, this is where it gets strange. King Von is still featured on crime lists even though he passed in 2020, raising the question of what crimes did King Von commit and why were his ops so happy when he passed?
Officials confirmed one of the 3 people shot was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends, where a total of 6 people were. One of them, a rapper Davon Bennett, who goes by the stage name King Von.
I was happy.
You're happy?
I was happy. But I was happy as when I found out Von was dead.
There is several rappers that were happy when King Von passed away, but there was also a very close friend of his happy as well. But FBG Young was the first to react when King Von passed, sharing that he was happy that he got dealt with.
When you looked at King Von getting, how did you feel, considering the animosity between you guys up to that point?
Like my real first action, thought, I was happy.
You're happy?
I was happy.
This is because of what King Von did to him. Because in 2014, King Von and a man named Big Mike went to a birthday party on Chicago's South Side. When shots rang out, a 19-year-old named Malcolm Stuckey was hit and 2 others were affected. Police later then charged Davon King Von Bennett with the first degree of FBG Young's best friend. This was the biggest case of King Von's young life. He was only 19, however, so was Big Mike. Being so young, Big Mike would eventually snitch against King King Von not wanting to throw away his entire life. The case took years to reach a verdict. Police reports even noted a witness saw King Von and Big Mike creeping up to the birthday party, hopping a fence, then using their firearms, to which Malcolm Stuckey was hit in the crossfire. Big Mike would confirm the witness's statement, essentially snitching on King Von. But when the trial finally came, something very unusual happened. King Von and Big Mike would be tried at the same time, but in front of separate jurors. After all the witnesses and cross-exams, the outcome came split. Big Mike was found guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm tied to one of the survivors. He would later have it reduced on appeal. Meanwhile, King Von was found not guilty on every single charge. The judge noted, quote, "Bennett was acquitted of all charges. He walks out a free man." This case is tied to King Von's famous song, Why He Told, dissing Big Mike for snitching. However, being found innocent really angered the entire FBG team. Knowing this, King Von would then use it as a way to show everyone how hard he is. While even being arrested in a different case only a few months later, he told the police, "I beat a body in 2 attempts.
I cuffed him this way because we're.
Cause y'all let me go to my Valentine's Day.
You talk going to jail.
I just got it. You don't know me. That's what I'm saying.
What were you like up for?
A body in 2 attempts.
What? I'm sorry. You want it? You can have it.
However, FBG Butta was extremely happy when King Von passed due to what he did to his best friend, FBG Duck.
When you heard that, considering the back and forth that y'all have had in your own ways, how did you feel?
So I kind of happy.
You were happy?
Can I say I was kind of happy? No, seriously, I was though. It was up. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he did. But I was happy as when I found out Von was dead. I cooked for the whole day. For all the people I
This is because around 4:10 p.m., FBG Duck and his girlfriend would park on Oak Street. He stepped out and got in line for a luxury store. At the same time, cameras on the south side caught men sprinting down a stairwell inside a O Block. 2 cars would be seen pulling out of O Block, one being a Ford Fusion and one being a Chrysler 300. City cameras and license plate readers followed the car's path through at least 7 different spots as they headed towards the Gold Coast. At 4:26 p.m., both cars stopped in front of Duck's girlfriend's sedan, where 2 men would hop out of the Ford Fusion and light up the scene. 2 more jumped out of the Chrysler and followed suit. Meanwhile, FBG Duck and another person attempted to dive behind a car. His girlfriend was hit in the wrist, the other one was hit 3 times, but in about 15 seconds it was all over. Witnesses say it sounded like a fire range, where FBG Duck would then be pronounced gone. King Von would then be interviewed by DJ Academics the next day after, where he would give this reaction.
Were you saddened by the news that he was then?
Man, I heard it. I didn't go to sleep at night. I couldn't believe it. Hold on, man. Oh, let's talk about some other.
Investigators counted roughly 38 shell casings where sadly FBG Duck passed. With everyone knowing it was O Block members who committed the hit, no one knew exactly who they were, until randomly only 2 months later, King Von gifted diamond O Block chains to 6 members, otherwise known as the O Block 6, consisting of C. Mur, Kenny Mack, Loss, Sithang, Muwap, and THF-TZ. Prosecutors noted that King Von spent around 128 grand on each diamond O Block pendant from an Atlanta jeweler. He would then even buy himself the biggest one out of the entire circle. But that's not all the evidence that really angered FBG members, because in January 2023, the Chicago Sun-Times reported police records from weeks after the incident containing an informant who said, quote, Duck had a price on his head, and that a person affiliated with O Block had offered $50,000 to get Duck, later then raised it to 100 grand. That name was redacted from the records, documents, but what wasn't redacted was a clue, reading, quote, "The person who said to have bought custom O-Block necklaces for associates." An FBI record also tagged a YouTube clip posted days after the passing showing King Von acquiring O-Block pendants for his people. However, this is where the story gets very interesting, because if King Von never passed away, Lil Durk would have been sentenced to prison a few years ago for a different crime than what he's facing right now, resulting in an OTF member's father saying Lil Durk is happy King Von is gone. On February 2019, a man was targeted near the Varsity. Jewelry, cash, and a Jeep were all taken, and the cameras around the famous drive-in caught a lot. By June 2019, the Atlanta judge listened to a long probable cause hearing where a detective testified that video shows Lil Durk using a firearm out of a moving vehicle with King Von driving the car, which was enough evidence to move forward on the charges, resulting in King Von being arrested.
Put your other hand on top of your head, please.
Out here?
What?
For where? Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh.
So just stay safe, and we're gonna just change it.
You too, I hate it like this, partner. You ain't never give me no hard time.
Hey man, when you can't explain to your aunt, man, like it's not, we don't know what your case is. We just people to come pick you up. Right.
1 week later, bond hearings would hit. Durk would get a $250,000 bond with conditions. Meanwhile, Von was able to bond out too, but there was a twist. The two had to stay completely separate. They were not allowed near each other. They couldn't work together, nothing. But fast forward to October 2022, the Fulton County prosecutor would drop all charges against Durk. Quoted, "In the interest of justice and under their discretion, all because King Von had passed in 2022. So his file would never reach a jury. But if he was still alive, the case would have went to trial in 2024, but here's where it gets real. After Vonnie's son, Vonnie, ended up snitching against Durk in the case against OTF right now, he would end up revealing all. He would go on to say King Von was backdoored by none other than Lil Durk to prevent the case ever going to trial. I know how it sounds, but listen to what he says. The evidence lines up perfectly.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a backdoor and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before he.
Where academics would then ask Vonnie's father, why would Durk want King Von gone?
Why would Durk want Von?
Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table and I pass you up? Don't nobody want their cheap spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. He was signing the boys. He was Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was interesting.
Come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He got a public defender."
This resulted in online investigators looking into the case. They would notice the case was closed privately. This means Lil Durk likely made a deal with the courts behind closed doors so then it would never go to trial. As OTF Vonnie's father would even double down when the news wrote, OTF Vonnie's father reveals Vonnie allegedly orchestrated Lil Pab in King Von's passing.
Oh no, he ain't take my rights. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you
you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Bonnie snitching with the text messages, like that's.
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
But that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and and with me saying Vaughn, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Vaughn?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Vaughn name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Vaughn. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Pat, you orchestrated this. And guess who you work for?
However, in 2026, King Von's passing files would be updated with new evidence and police records. This got the attention of a lot more rappers, but to understand, it's important to know that these files literally began with the police being told by a nurse at the hospital King Von was brought back to life and even made it through 2 surgeries, then got startled by a nurse walking into the room, resulting in King Von passing.
And Von made it through 2 surgeries. He had 3 surgeries ago. He made it to 2 surgeries. And then after the second surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said where his gun at. And he went and he died because he went into shock. So he was making 2 surgeries. How hours later, Kayla know, he fought the nurse. She the one told me that. His mama didn't even know that. How you knowing what's going on inside the hospital?
Because she was there at the hospital.
Meaning there is a chance King Von would have still been alive today. But what's even more concerning is the police even believe King Von got backdoored by one of his own. Whether it was due to what OTF Vonnie's father said, we're gonna find out, because they noted Von had paid bodyguards who were supposed to protect him. And when it came time to the altercation, they suddenly disappeared and didn't help King Von at all.
His security guard let him walk. You get paid he get paid to protect. How the you let him walk over and fight? You ain't even supposed to let him fight. He ain't supposed to be touching nobody. Security guard, if anything, you make sure Quando them leave. Whoever else they was with, you make sure they leave. How you let him walk over somebody that's the reason y'all here, the reason everybody in this parking lot here, because this man right here making the money and y'all his entourage. But that security guard, it's something fishy with him. That's why he deleted his Instagram. I definitely feel like it's foul play. I don't know where it's coming from, but I definitely feel like it's some weird shit going on.
The police body cam footage shows King Von's friends and not one single bodyguard. The police then even pieced together an interview from Quando where he gave an explanation on the truth behind Von's passing and even what King Von's final words were. But to understand it all, we need to review the new evidence file. It begins on November 5th, 2020. Von and his crew headed to a club in Atlanta for his album release party. The night was supposed to be a massive celebration for the life and success of King Von, but nobody knew it would be so short-lived. Von had many enemies growing up. Growing up in a dangerous place like O-Block, he knew the risks of being caught out in public. So when going to the club, Von was with a crew of 20 to 25 members, spread across 8 vehicles that all went to the party. Even Von's manager spoke on the extreme measure Von took regarding security.
I travel with one security that moves with Von, and he traveled with 2 more securities. You know what I'm saying? Von traveled in a proof truck, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily. They protect and love Von more than any security would. We're like, I think we're about 8-10 cars deep, 20-25 on entourage.
However, later on in the night, something would change. Von would act out and put his life in jeopardy. But in the meantime, Von's party was going great. Everyone was having a good time, celebrating the success of King Von's album. But once the party ended at around 2:30 a.m., Von and his entourage began exiting the club. The plan was for everyone to go to the Airbnb, but Von had other plans.
Everybody mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb, because that's normal routine. The club he went to, the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. His team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Von decision.
With the entire crew heading out to the Airbnb, King Von would tell his driver to go to a different club known as the Monaco Lounge. This would be the first decision of many that led to the end of King Von.
So everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, we here by ourselves, like where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue.
For some reason, the people in King Von's truck only let the rest of the team know the plans had changed once they arrived at Monaco. So when the rest of the team found out, they all made U-turns towards the new club instantly, but it resulted in Von's manager realizing there was something wrong with Von. He wasn't acting like the upbeat guy that he usually was, and instead he was very quiet. Von's crew was ready to enter the club when arriving, but King Von, he sat in his truck for 30 minutes, not talking to anyone.
For some reason, Von wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 30-35 minutes.
When Hunter K. Track would then hop in the truck to check on him. He got Von to finally agree to go into the lounge, but due to Monaco's club rules, Von had to leave his firearm in the car. So at first they send security in to check out the club, making sure everything is safe so Von can go in.
I went to the car he was in, I was like, yo, Von. Went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Von, bro, what's going on? Like, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Von's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no.
But while his security was inside looking for danger, the real problem was actually outside, sitting in the parking lot, because rapper Quando Rondo was in his car with a couple of his own friends. Since Von was still waiting for the AOK, one of his friends were looking around the parking lot and spotted Quando. He then ran over to King Von and told him, did you know Quando was here?
Now, right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys, he came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Von just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go.
King Von reacted instantly, jumping out of his car, looking to confront Quando Rondo. Von's team tried to get him to chill out and not start a scene, but it didn't stop him. Von went around the front of the white vehicle and immediately began swinging at Quando.
He jumped out the car. By the time Von jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling.
Then only a couple of seconds into the brawl, Quando's best friend Lil Tim would come out of the back side of the white car with his firearm and used it to defend Quando, where sadly King Von would be affected, but so is his manager, who was hit once in the leg. Some of Von's members were still strapped. They instantly retaliated on Lil Tim, making him fall to the ground only a few feet away. But with the noise eclipse going off in the area, the two off-duty officers working security just down the street would pull up to the scene. On the count of 3, they would creep up and unleash multiple rounds into the area, hitting and ending one of King Von's members. During this, Von was still laying right in the middle of the street, holding on to Quando. Some believe Quando was trying to snatch Von's chain. Others believe Von was using him as a shield, but you comment down below what you think.
And was he trying to take Von's chain, or?
Honest truth, I don't think V-Roy had no jewelry on, and from the people that was a little bit closer, Von was actually holding onto him like, man, you ain't going nowhere. Like, you here, like, even through getting, he's that strong. Like, he was literally holding him.
Once the scene relaxed a little bit and everyone stopped using their firearms, the race to save King Von was on. His best friend Muwop ran right into the middle of the street. He knocked Quando away from Von, picking up King Von and bringing him to the getaway car. Meanwhile, Quando and his team also left the scene. Despite being affected 4 times, Von was still conscious the entire ride to the hospital. And the members that were with Von in the car spoke out, claiming Von was the one trying to keep everyone in good spirits and assured them everything would be okay.
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Von was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill, I'm gonna be good, just get me to the hospital. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself, from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been fine.
After arriving to the hospital, Von would be rushed into the operating room, where he would make it through 2 surgeries, but then sadly passed after being startled by a nurse. In the updated files, it reveals Von was looking for a firearm, but here's something very odd. Von looking around for a firearm was new evidence never shared to the public until 2026. So how did Boosie know that he didn't have a firearm from an interview 2 years ago?
I mean, like you said, the King Von situation, like there was absolutely no reason for Von to be rolling around with that dude. Like, there was no, especially since he had security, like, you know, someone should have jumped in. It should never even.
King,
I almost feel like, but I almost feel like if
all
you have real security,
all of them is post blast. I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago.
Sad, man, sad. I mean, the whole King Von thing is really kind of hanging
me up,
over everyone right now.
That f***ed me up, bro. Because I like King Von.
But sadly, the news of King Von passing would quickly hit news headlines, getting reactions from several rappers. Comment down below what your reaction was when you heard the news. I'm gonna read them all, and like the video if you were a King Von fan.
This made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the 3 people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
2 groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of.
Meanwhile, the feds have been trying to sentence YNW Melly for several years, but now in 2026, they're finally about to do it.
In rapper YNW Melly's witness tampering trial, state attorneys confirming the witness tampering charges dropped against the rapper. Before that announcement, the jury selection was expected to take place tomorrow.
When the news announced, YNW Melly will no longer go to trial for witness tampering after prosecutors dropped the charges, the Florida rapper's trial was scheduled to start on Wednesday, January 21st, but during the hearing on Tuesday, January 20th, prosecutors decided to drop the case. Millions of YNW Melly fans were excited. However, the reality is this is all a part of the state's plan to eventually ruin YNW Melly. Even in a statement from Melly's lawyer, Drew Finling, it reads, "We now look forward to seeking Melly's release from custody, where he had been held under extraordinarily restrictive conditions for far too long, as Drew will use the evidence they have against YNW Melly for witness tampering to prove to the judge they are afraid to go to trial. The witness tampering case should have been locked and sealed that Melly was guilty. An example is they literally had his ex-girlfriend arrested, who YNW Melly told to leave the United States."
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
Because when Melly's trial began in 2023, Mariah was wanted by police for not showing up. They spammed her phone, they had multiple house visits, she was nowhere to be found. However, at the end of 2025, she wanted to come home, missing her family so much she would book a flight home with her ID. This triggered the police security alarm, so once she was waiting for her luggage at the airport, she was quickly swarmed by police and arrested, to which she would then agree to fully testify against Melly for witness tampering. However, the state would end up dropping the charges for one specific reason, and let me explain. It reads, in the 5-page memo, the prosecutors dropped a witness tampering case against Jamel Demons to avoid jeopardizing key jail call essential evidence, proving his guilt in his pending Double M trial, where the state moved to drop the case because suppression of jail calls remain unsolved, risking acquittal and loss of critical evidence needed for the 2027 trial. Prosecutors charged Melly with witness tampering and gang-related offenses tied to efforts to keep key witness Mariah Hamilton from testifying in his Double M case. Financial records show Hamilton received $31,000 from Jamel Demon's management company, plus associates purchasing her a Mercedes, despite her having no reported income. Meanwhile, jail calls, surveillance footage, and inmate kites would show Melly directing a relay system through inmates James Howard and Terrence to pass messages outside of jail after losing his phone privileges. But later in the memo was the real reason why. It reads, recorded calls and messages, including co-defendant YNW Bortland, to keep Hamilton away from court using coded language and nicknames, which was already exposed by YNW Juvy's father during an interview 2 years ago, but there's a much deeper meaning.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
They like to me, they going through extreme measures, try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom,
which is all a part of the state's plan to ruin YNW Melly. And here's how it begins. In the witness tampering trial, they only had Mariah on their side to testify against Melly. So if she testifies for witness tampering, then she wouldn't be able to testify again in the Double M trial. The prosecutors will make her keep the evidence that she has to then use it against Melly in the Double M trial, alongside evidence YNW Bortland shares as well. This means both of Melly's friends connected to the case are now going against him because the news wrote, as predicted, YNW Bortland took the plea deal. He also agreed to a proffer, which means that he is talking. The sentence is to accessory after the fact, and he will do 10 years on probation minus any credit and gain time. We've already requested his deposition in the civil case, where the feds were able to sign Mariah and Bortland to deals, leaving YNW Melly all by himself. While some believe Bortland does not have to snitch against Melly, DJ Akademiks would reveal what it really means. It reads, the judge says on both charges, YNW Bortland pled no contest. To that, he has to provide a factual basis for him to accept the plea, meaning you have to tell a factual story of how you indeed committed accessory to the crime, which confirms that the crime happened, which YNW Melly is charged with. It's a Gunna plea, where he would further explain how it's a plea deal similar to Gunna's.
I did tweet out saying people are upset. I said this is a Gunna plea. This is a Gunna plea. This isn't a plea saying you have to tell on him, but this is a plea that you're going to have to provide all the details that they were missing to convict him. And that's why it's a Gunna plea. Why do I say he signed a Gunna plea? Because YNW Melly, and I watched the case, we covered it. YNW Melly's case is that, number one, you guys have not done a job to prove that this is actually they have proved, but prove that this is a homicide with this person being the offender. Also, the accessory after the fact plea confirms that Bortland, that's kind of like almost like a sub part of a conspiracy, except you weren't with the conspiracy at first. You came in after the fact. What that proved is that they came in. Oh my God, my nose. What that proved is that Bortland worked with someone after he acknowledged that a took place in trying to cover it up. You hear what I just said? When pleading to an accessory to after the fact, you have to acknowledge that the happened and you assisted someone or in some way to cover the. Now, if Melly's statement is, how do we know that? And then secondly, how do we know who did it? Because they said it was a drive-by.
An easier way to understand what Akademiks is saying is YNW Bortland will be required to tell how the crime went down from his own perspective in the car. Regardless if he actually says Melly's name or not, he is required to say what he saw. So when he tells police that Sack Chaser and Juvie passed away from a situation inside of the car, YNW Melly will then be found guilty, as it proves there was never a drive-by. Even a famous rap lawyer would share this.
He will be flipping. He is going to be tell-all about anything he knows about the double case, and they will know if he's telling the truth or telling a lie when he gives his full quote-unquote confession as to what happened that evening. And that's what happens. A lot of times where guys are in the prison for 4 or 5 years awaiting trial and looking at a life sentence, and they're offered 10 years where they'll be home probably in another 3 years that he'll serve. He decides to flip and become a cheese eater. And that's what happens a lot of times on these cases. And I was expecting it to happen a lot sooner than it did. He held out for quite some time. But long story short is it looks like he's going to flip. And it makes the case on YNW Melly, depending on what he says, which I anticipate he'll say that YNW Melly is responsible.
Due to this, YNW Melly's lawyers have been getting creative to get him released from jail before his 2027 trial, where they just submitted paperwork for an immediate release due to an ongoing lawsuit between Melly and the county jail. It reads, YNW Melly sues the Broward Sheriff Office for cruel treatment and is seeking immediate release from prison. Melly also claims they have not allowed him to see or speak with family in 3 years. Getting the reaction of rappers, I like what I'm hearing right now. Shout out that boy Melly, free him, he's been in there too long. This is because in Melly's lawsuit, his lawyers claim that he has been living in a freezing cold jail cell with no edible food in jail with no human contact. It's even been shared. An interview from Melly's mother paints a disturbing picture of Melly's life in jail, making it sound like he won't last much longer. During that interview, she ranted over the fact that Melly was granted a mistrial in his first trial. His witness tampering case was also dropped, but he is still left inside a jail, not even allowed to see or speak with family.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
Where Jamie King would reveal that she is absolutely heartbroken for her son. She feels helpless because he's not even being treated like a human inside a jail.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
This would get a lot of attention from the media. Charleston White would react saying this is what YNW Melly should be living like. He shouldn't be getting special treatment because he's a famous rapper. But comment down below what you think.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
Even getting the attention of rap OG Boosie, who would speak on the stress that Jamie King has been going through.
Okay, so then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
With all of the media attention and Melly getting his charges dropped, the judge allowed Melly's lawyers to make a case as to why he should be released, and the prosecutors a chance to say why he shouldn't. You tell me if you'd release him after hearing the evidence they shared, where they would begin by sharing evidence from the 2023 trial, where the prosecutors themselves admit there was never a firearm even found, backing up the claims of it being a drive-by.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
Then sharing evidence that was found inside of YNW Bortland's home. Bortland already accepted his plea deal. He's going against Melly regardless, so they decided to throw some evidence onto him, sharing what was found inside of his closet, trying to prove that Bortland is the aggressive one.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortland allegedly tampered with the witness.
Where it would then be announced, here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of YNW Bortland's home last week, as filed into the Broward clerks by the state. Alongside these photos of Bortland drawing on a piece of paper where certain jurors were sitting with a description of what they looked like. Where YNW Bortland showed up to the original Melly trial for one day to get his own hearing date, but in doing so, he turned around and took a mental image of all the jurors, where they were sitting and what they looked like. He went right home and drew out all of it on a piece of paper, which is extremely illegal, almost making it look like if these jurors found YNW Melly guilty of the crime, Bortland was going to go out and slide on him.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortland, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house. Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
While it looked strong for YNW Melly, the prosecutors, they then shared what they had, where they would begin with showing text messages of Melly admitting to doing the crime.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
Where they would then also share footage of Melly leaving the studio, sitting directly in the back left seat of the Jeep, waiting for Sack Chaser, Juvie, and Bortland to all get in. This is important because the official court documented evidence reads, the direction of items traveling from left to right in the car supports the claim they originated from the back left seat where YNW Melly was sitting. Even YNW Juvie's mother confirmed he was there.
Can you state your name? Your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
Then showing evidence of Melly and Bortland only 5 hours after the crime took place, dancing in a random parking lot, recording a music video.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
But this is then when they would share evidence we've never even seen before, such as this Facebook post of YNW Melly with Young Thug, trying to claim that Melly is a part of the Red Street team, the same one as Young Thug.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with him. And he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Demons has big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and see with individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
While also sharing new evidence of an ex-O-Block member snitching on a secret that Melly told King Von. Before Von passed and Melly was arrested, the two were good friends. Von told people in O-Block that Melly was asking him for advice on how to deal with people, and if you know anything about King Von, you know the advice that he's asking about.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walter Bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Similar to Melly, Lil Durk is also facing a life sentence in prison.
What are you talking about? By the Sly for Von comments. They be saying Sly for Von. I think they trolling me.
The reason I just don't see the comments no more.
Cameras captured the aftermath.
No!
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
In the year 2022, Lil Durk would take a selfie with $1 million in cash on his bathroom counter. With everyone thinking it was a generic flex photo, the reality of it changes Durk's case forever, because today it would be announced inside of the courtroom. Prosecutors say Lil Durk placed a $1 million bounty on Quando Rondo in 2022. The discovery also shows that defendant Banks used his trusted lieutenants to recruit hitmen to fly to Southern California on August 18, 2022 to get Quando Rondo. It continues, consistent with defendant Banks' promise to reward co-conspirators, defendant Wilson solicited hitmen by promising to pay $1 million reward on behalf of defendant Banks in exchange for flying to Los Angeles to commit the crime. With the photo of $1 million in cash on Lil Durk's bathroom counter allegedly being the confirmation photo, the cash is ready, the job is yours. In the evidence file, it also reads, nonetheless, rewarded co-conspirators got other things, featuring in many of the direct participants in music videos and rap lyrics in the months following the crime, with the most notable song being Lil Durk's Block is Hot as a reward for D-Ski. Due to them claiming that it's concrete evidence against Lil Durk, they felt as if they can control him while he's inside of jail. Durk's lawyers wrote, the Chicago rapper's legal team filed a request for a status hearing regarding Durk being detained in a special housing unit without due process since August 29, 2025, where Lil Durk is confined to a very small jail cell, just large enough for a single bed, toilet, and a sink for 23 hours a day. With the filing continuing, he does not have access to commissary, he is permitted to one phone call a month and no in-person social visits. He was originally placed in an SHU as punishment for being in possession of an Apple Watch. However, Durk's attorneys claim that alleged infraction has still not been reviewed by the committee to determine its proper disciplinary actions, which would normally happen within 5 working days. Even fellow inmates of Lil Durk would get so concerned for the Chicago rapper, they would start calling around trying to make sure somebody is trying to help him.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS, and right now we're gonna show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
But some believe this is what Lil Durk deserves for committing such a very serious crime. Comment down below what you think, because this resulted in Durk's team writing on his IG story, crazy how you gotta wait until it's dark out to see who's really with you, where Lil Durk would mention that he feels alone. Even DJ Academics would explain how all the rappers in the industry has left his side.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the went on tour with, did songs with, called you they brother, they twin. I wouldn't be surprised if these rappers try to f India. These are down low and dirty. And I think this is what I think Durk right now is thinking, that, man, I thought I was just with a whole bunch of real. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. And I feel bad for Durk. When King Slime got locked up, there was a whole parade. Free him! Free him! Free him! Oh, nah. Everybody would post details of the case. How is this humane? How could they do this? Yo, free not smart. No, free Slime. Durk got locked up. They might give that half a bar. Free Smirk. And they moved him. I'll give credit. I have heard some of these guys have sent lawyers. Good for that. But Smirk is in there, man, realizing the world don't stop spinning because you locked up.
Like the video if you're still on Durk's side, because everyone else is leaving. Academics would even further explain that once he gets out of jail, he's not going to be the same rapper that we all loved.
Let me tell y'all, the Durk y'all loved when he was free, if he gets back out again, he'll never be that Durk. I'm going to tell you why. He done learned a lot of lessons. This is me assuming. Nothing he's told me. But the things that he did for others, y'all know when he came on my podcast, right? And he said, man, yo, Gunna's a snitch. I can't f Gunna. Man, f that. I don't care. I love Thug. He said that because Thug told him. Yo,
What Dirk is realizing, Dirk is a great soldier, but nobody looked at him like a leader. Dirk was willing to move on behalf of the people he's loyal to when they get locked up. When he locked up, they might drop him as a bar in a song, but
sadly, the reality is Lil Durk may never get released from prison again. This is because the news wrote Lil Durk's co-defendants, Didi, Boogie, and Brown Eyes, agreed with the government to push the trial back 5 months to May 4th. However, Durk didn't agree at first. He wanted his trial to begin at originally scheduled January 7th. Once making the announcement in court, the judge allowed the prosecutors to take the stand to state their opinion. They walked up and the news wrote, Durk's trial prosecutors say they have several cooperating witnesses who will testify that he was the real organizer of all the passings, essentially saying, start the trial whenever. We don't even care. We have OTF snitches. This resulted in the courtroom having a recess. Once returning, Durk's lawyers would fold. It would be announced Lil Durk's M for Hire trial has now been pushed back to the spring. The trial date for Durk and his 5 co-defendants is now scheduled for May 4th, with the pre-trial conference slated to happen on April 13th. This means this is a result of Durk's lawyers being caught off guard at what the prosecutors announced. But before exiting the courtroom for the day, an update read, Judge denied Durk's motion to disqualify, his motion to dismiss for vagueness. His motion for a bill of particulars was taken under advisement. The judge is letting both sides submit extra responses by Friday, as a lawyer outside of the courtroom would describe what the judge denying the motions truly means.
I'm a criminal lawyer and I just learned that the rap artist Lil Durk just had his motion to dismiss his for hire case denied. To be honest, I'm not that surprised. Let me tell you guys something. There's only 2 ways that Lil Durk is rocking out of that federal courtroom on 2 feet. A jury of 12 people says that he is not guilty, or President Trump pardons him. There's no other way that Durk is walking out of that court free. That judge is not going to be dismissing any key evidence. He's not going to be dismissing any motions. He's not going to do anything that significantly helps Lil Durk walk out of that courtroom without having a trial. Now, how and why am I so sure of this? Well, here's the first thing I want to tell you. Most federal judges used to be federal prosecutors, exact prosecutors that are prosecuting Durk. A lot of judges used to stand in that very position. Federal prosecutors can be very biased people, and very rarely, once they put on that black robe and become a judge, do they get rid of those biases, okay? That judge very likely probably thinks that Durk is guilty. He just can't be the one to actually say it.
With the judge denying any chances of having the case thrown out, it means that he will face a trial in May, which had a lot of mixed feelings from those in the rap industry.
Remo, this is my last no jumper. Durk Torre told me I wasn't supposed to come back up here with that last.
Now look what happened to him.
That man got kids. You talking about look what happened to him.
Definitely not happy about him.
I wouldn't be happy if you go to jail, Adam, because I know you got daughter. Break down.
There's multiple people who are no longer there for their kids as a result of that Durk allegedly called in.
Until they put that on black and white, sir. Stop throwing stuff on a black man who's trying to do something right for the community right now.
The feds have already put out a lot of information about this.
You don't have to put it out. You don't have to put it out. So this is a major platform.
You're not the boss of me. We talk about rap on here. I think it is well within our jurisdiction to talk about the fact
that what type of police
has been alleged to have ordered them.
Free smirk though.
Free smirk. But also maybe
police platform. There's some police.
Just sit down for a little and decide, hey, maybe I'm not anybody else.
We don't have no proof that.
Well,
we don't.
But then only 1 hour after the courtroom was done for the day, a case-breaking update would be revealed online where the feds were able to get OTF Vonnie to snitch against Durk. OTF Vonnie is one of Lil Durk's right-hand men. Anything he needs done in the streets, he goes to Vonnie. Being arrested together, they were supposed to go to trial together. However, after the court day, his file was updated, showing that he's no longer in the Bureau of Prisons custody, meaning that he has been released from jail, likely on house arrest. This was then confirmed later on that night, where Vonnie got his hands on a cell phone and texted somebody close to him, who then flipped on Vonnie, leaking everything. Vonnie would text the individual, I'm trying to plea out on a 32, which is the base M for hire. Max is 43, which is life, but I would get -2 points for a plea, -1 point for early plea, -2 points for no background, so I'll have 27 points, which is 5 to 7 years. It's better than that, I can't go to trial. I might get an elbow, and I don't want to get got like them other boys. When saying he doesn't want to get got like them other boys, he's referring to OTF Jam and what occurred to him, but more on that later. With this going viral online, DJ Akademiks would then hop on live stream. OTF Vonnie's own father would then join Akademiks on stream, revealing it all, saying that his own son played a major role in the passing of King Von, and even Durk knew about it, letting all the information to the public because he would disown his own son for snitching in the case.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before he died.
DJ Akademiks would then ask a follow-up question: why would Durk want King Von gone? The police noted at the time of King Von's passing, Durk and him were facing a court case together. It ended in a private settlement, meaning there's a high chance Durk made a private deal with the feds because the trial could not go forward due to King Von passing away.
Why would Durk want Von?
Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table when I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. He was signing the boys. Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was interesting.
Come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He got a public defender."
Resulting in a viral tweet of OTF Vonnie's dad leaking that Durk had Von dealt with is really making me wonder why Durk suddenly goes on IG Live when he's connected to somebody passing, where he would be seen going on IG Live the minute Von, Lil Pab, FBG Duck, and two other Chicago rivals all passed on, making some believe Durk uses IG Live as a live action alibi. If the feds ever question him of where he was, he can just point to his IG Live. It would then be revealed the evidence Vonnie gave up, where the feds claim there's an OTF iMessage group chat with the details reading, Lil Durk is facing allegations from federal prosecutors that he put hits on O-Block members for not retaliating for King Von. Prosecutors plan to introduce testimony from a witness who claims Durk gave the orders. In the evidence file it reads, defendant Durk Banks feuds with O-Block member Munna Duke over Banks' belief that O-Block members were not properly retaliating for Bennett, aka King Von's passing. Whack 100 would even react, sharing the truth.
To life by basically saying he's guilty of for hire, and the only thing that, like, yes, some of these things look suspect. Why'd you go there? Why are these people going there? Why'd you send this message? But nothing. There's no message that they got that says where Durk says y'all that Quando yet. Nothing says that.
I'm not. You missing the point. Okay. They got a witness already cooperating on that. Been had one. We just ain't seen what they said. It's 3 members. One of the cooperating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so
that's co-conspirator too.
Yeah. I don't know. You don't need too much more than that. One of them is cooperating. Then in the paperwork, you got the conversation. They say they had it in and out. The other two was
figuring out how they getting paid.
With OTF Vonnie obviously being in the OTF iMessage group chat, he was able to give the feds his phone, where they then used the message history to line up crimes committed by Durk. It's also connected to the report of feds believe Lil Durk was behind the attempted of Quando in 2021 at a gas station in Blackshear, Georgia. In the evidence file, it reads, surveillance footage and witness testimony related to the attempted of Bowman, aka Quando in Georgia, where not only was there iMessage messages that lined up to that exact date, but was also countless conversations of getting Quando Rondo dealt with, making Lil Durk's lyrics of quote, told me they got an Addy go, got location go, look on the news, see your son screaming no no, look very, very suspicious.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles and cameras captured the aftermath. This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
However, OTF Vonnie is not the only snitch, because what OTF DD's younger brother did left rappers speechless. One rapper said, please tell me this isn't real, but sadly it is. The evidence file revealing the snitching would be released, which begins with the news of the new Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Durk, and OTF members have changed the case, raising the question, what did Ted say to police? Lil Ted is also known as OTF DD's younger brother. This is Durk's main guy. He's also the guy who created the team to go get Quando in LA. Lil Ted was picked up by police at a local convenience store when he had a firearm in his jeans pocket.
Really?
Dude had a. What about that? A man had a with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
At this moment, Lil Ted was then driven to the police station, but before even getting inside, he had tears coming down his face as he tells police, I swear I'll tell y'all about the passings, hoping not to be placed into jail, but he was already way too late for him.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I swear to God, I tell you about everything. I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
Being placed into the waiting cell, Ted is seen crying his eyes out, wanting nothing more to just snitch on everything he knows and go home. But comment down below what you think Ted told police, and like the video if you're still supporting Durk. Curious how many of you are.
Wait, hold on. You gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? What you saying, man?
We're gonna see what we can do for you, all right?
We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
Give me No, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
However, one of the most wanted artists in the entire world right now is David for the serious crimes that he committed. The LAPD made a massive arrest in the Celeste case. It reads, David's friend Neo has been arrested for failing to appear as a witness. TMZ reports that David is expected to be charged in the case of Celeste. As an investigator would then reveal, Neo has been hiding out in Montana, trying to hide from the case. It reads, Neo Langston has been arrested in Montana on a Los Angeles Superior Court warrant for failure to appear for testimony. Lewis and Clark County expects LA County to begin the extradition process, where locals in the area would capture photos of Neo being arrested and put into the police car. It's rumored that Neo knows exactly what happened to Celeste. They also believe once Neo spends 1 day inside a jail, he'll begin snitching on David, because if you didn't know, Neo is extremely close with David. Some would say too close, because on David's secret Instagram, you'll see Neo everywhere. Starting on July 21st, a photo of David with Neo at a house party. This is what started rumors circulating that David may have had a relationship with Neo. Old photos of Instagram show David and Neo recreating the famous Titanic pose, laying in bed together, and so much more. So much so that the investigator would even be questioned on who is Neo.
You know who that person is, and do you believe that is the person that moved the Tesla?
So I definitely know who moved that Tesla on that late July before they went on tour. I can't say who the person, and I don't mean I can't say for, But I don't know who exactly was in the house because it's just a report, but there's video, but you can't make a person out. But somebody was in the house, and being that there's only one key, it's like, okay, who had access at that time? So is it the same person that moved the Tesla? Was another last part of the plan about to go in motion as far as getting rid of her? I don't know.
Like the video if you believe Neo played a part in the crime, because it resulted in the news of. This in no way implies any type of guilt, but based on Steve's recent findings in David's social media, it's very possible that his friend Neo was the last one driving the Tesla. Neo has wiped his social media clean of David and does not follow him on Instagram. This post and information has not been confirmed by LAPD or officials, but it raised a very interesting theory. It says, quote, receipts show that David and Neo, who had been constantly together, no longer follow each other on Instagram. What happened to Celeste and who put her in the Tesla? Did Celeste learn or witness something significant related to David given his public profile as an artist? Which is when investigators noticed Neo tried getting the evidence off of himself. After Neo's involvement began going viral, more and more evidence would start leaking out of nowhere. TMZ leaked a story writing, quote, Celeste was found frozen in David's car, which the LA County Medical Examiner says will most likely make it impossible to determine the cause of passing, which resulted in thousands of creators even making videos about David claiming that he bought a massive freezer, which took all of the attention off of Neo's name.
For quite some time, a lot of people were curious as to when she could have passed away. If she passed away at the beginning of 2025, why did she only just start smelling in September of 2025? Well, according to what we are hearing from sources close to LAPD, it seems as if Celeste Rivas Hernandez was actually frozen for a period of time. Freezing a body would preserve that for an extended period of time, and it seems as if she was removed from being in a frozen state and put in David's Tesla. And because of that, the medical examiner is likely not going to be able to determine a CO.
The theory and news from TMZ went so viral, the LAPD even had to come forward announcing that it was false. But doing so, they had to prove that it was false, so they had to share a new police report reading, quote, on the night of December 30th through the morning of December 31st, 2024, David and Celeste were together in downtown LA, where several photos were taken in public, alongside very weird photos in David's camera roll showing off a dark and creepy shed. Several photos of this shed were in David's camera roll on the same night David and Celeste were wandering around downtown LA, making the LAPD curious if this shed was the place where the crime occurred. But also on David's camera roll was the last ever photo taken of Celeste. It reads, 1 year ago today, January 2nd, 2025, is the date of the last known photo my investigation has uncovered of Celeste. It is important to emphasize that law enforcement investigators have access to more extensive resources and may very well have images or evidence from after this date, but according to the image's metadata, the photo was taken at 5 p.m. on January 2nd, 2025, showing Celeste in a designer ripped style hoodie. However, this is where it gets very weird. A reply to the investigator would read, I saw this on Reddit. Is this hoodie circled not the same one Celeste is wearing in that photo, showing that exact ripped style designer hoodie on the floor of David's room, clear as day, and a selfie that he took. But during the police investigation, they also allegedly found this sweater Celeste is wearing on stream.
Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which
that.
one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot. Bro, thank you. Mitchell.
I gotta stop with him if you even.
Are
we need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
Due to this, the news would write, David will likely face M charges for the passing of Celeste Rivas, and that's because the grand jury that's hearing the case will be asked to hand down an indictment, sources tell TMZ, with Even Complex Music announcing the same information. They're speeding this up in court due to the evidence found inside David's rental home. The news wrote, a private investigator reveals that an incinerator capable of burning at temperatures up to 1600 degrees was found in David's home.
We've been wondering just what it was that a private investigator named Steve Fisher found inside David's home when he was given access last October. The PI reported seeing, quote, items you would expect to find on a farm rather than in a home in the Hollywood Hills. And today, we are learning about one of those items.
This piece of equipment is typically used at farms, and it's actually illegal for LA residents to have without a farm permit or owning a registered farm. However, the details of the home that the incinerator was found in is what breaks the case wide open and reveals the truth. It said that Celeste would live in David's second private rental home. It was a lot more private, no one knew he even had it. When you add this with the news of video David recorded at his other home, where Celeste stayed, in February 2025, Celeste had likely been passed for a few weeks. Also in February, he leased a red Tesla and stopped using the black one, where the investigator notices the picture frame behind David, but also the very weird choice of words he used.
Hey guys, I know I haven't posted on this account in a little minute, but I just had some words to share with you for 2025. Despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the pain and things like that this year, I just wanted to tell you guys not to be discouraged and not to lose hope and not to turn your face from God in these times of evil. And then it seems like just at the start of the year, it's literally January, you know, all this stuff is happening. It's like the most insane, it's February now, but it's the most insane start to a year that I've ever seen. But God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So keep that sound mind, 2025. Stay prayed up.
Celeste would stay in David's private rental. With him posting that video around the same time feds believe Celeste had passed, they are marking it as his official reaction. Due to this, the news wrote, David is allegedly not cooperating with investigators in the passing of Celeste, and LAPD detectives have identified a second suspect in the case. David still remains a suspect. Now that second suspect was Neo. He has now been arrested. However, with all of the new findings against David, they are trying to make a move on him, but in a very secret way. The court files read, there's too many coincidences. The strange timeline surrounding David and Celeste. On September 18th, David transferred his Texas home into his mom's name. That same day, Celeste was identified and found in the Tesla. Just a day earlier, the LAPD executed a search warrant at his Hollywood Hills rental. And on that same day, a police call was falsely reported an incident in somebody passing at one of David's homes. When the police arrived, they were met by David's parents, who said that his younger brother and sister were upstairs.
No, out of all times for this to happen, as discovered in his car, after she's been identified, for there to be a potential swatting incident where somebody calls 911 with a fake allegation, a fake crime for their property, out of all people, out of all times, it's weird.
Well, it's weird, but it doesn't necessarily surprise me, because this case has taken on national significance in terms of people paying attention to it. And there are bad actors that understand how to bring somebody by way of swatting. So somebody called the 911 system down there. They found the address online and were basically made up a story for the cops to go there. And then they went in, and fortunately the police were very professional and they were able to immediately understand that it was a swatting incident and it wasn't a legitimate call.
While some believe there was a false report of somebody passing at David's family home, others believe the feds used it as a way to see if David was hiding out at his family's house because nobody has seen him for the last few months.
Do you have any indication about where David is right now?
I don't. I have no idea. And it's kind of bizarre because his group has stayed so silent, what's left of his group, I guess. And I'm not even sure the conversations that the owner did have with his management in breaking that lease. I'm not even 100% sure his management knows at this time where he's at. I think his attorney might be the only one, and his parents.
With David knowing he won't have much time left until he's arrested, he tried to pull a fast one on police. It reads, sources believe after David hired his new legal firm plus transferring assets out of his name, he's preparing for the police to close on him. Expect his arrest soon, as a lawyer would explain what David did.
You know, transferring these assets in the middle of an investigation, as opposed to 2 years ago or a year ago.
Right.
Could a court look at this and say this was a deliberate attempt to what you say, concealing assets, and they could breach it, they could pierce it, they could say, even though that you've transferred this into your mother's name, that was invalid. This is a way for, let's say, a plaintiff who sues him, or let's say in a criminal judgment to pay that fine. Can a court look at that and say, even though you transferred it, it's still open season on those properties?
Yeah, this is what's so puzzling about this. It is a very basic premise of law throughout the country that you can't transfer assets after the event happens that would otherwise trigger collecting on those assets. So we have rules in different states. Sometimes they're called fraudulent transfers. Sometimes they're called fraudulent conveyances. There's a lot of different names for them. But the crux of it is you cannot transfer assets.
While David tried to pull a fast one on police by trying to protect his assets, it won't end up working in the end. While trying to locate David and stopping his asset transfer, investigators would find even more weird evidence that you need to hear. Like this weird interview where David said he wants to live on an island with no social media in 4 years, coincidentally when Celeste would become an adult.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay, so the plan is hopefully this music thing takes off crazy next year.
Why is he saying, why are you saying that like you're not like up there?
Well, I'm not there yet, but hopefully it's like even crazier next year. And then I'm going crazy year after year for the next 3 years. And then on the 4th year, I retire. And on the 5th year, I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib. No social media, no digital footprint. I'm just gone. I'm just gone. In 5 years, I'm gonna be gone.
Will you still remember me?
Yeah, bro. You'll have like the secret codes to the mansion.
Yeah?
You can pull up on a.
What's the secret code? Give us the first 2 numbers.
Absolutely
of the secret.
not.
Fans then noted the question was, where do you want to be in 5 years? But David answers where he wants to be in 4. However, the second interview was the worst one because it's connected to this weird piece of evidence reading. David update, alleged photo of David wearing a similar wig to the one Celeste was wearing has surfaced online, proving that David likes anime conventions, which is totally fine. But it's weird how he is wearing Celeste's wig and how he described that he wants to be an anime character where he goes and commits very serious crimes. But listen closely to the crime that he would use as an example.
Basically, an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego, and the story of the manga went like I was a detective and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden. And he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective. So like when I was as the detective, I'd be like solving that I'm committing myself. And it was like a cool little story. I didn't think anything would come of it. Like it was in the vault for.
Like the video if that's weird to you, because one viral reply read, there's hundreds of crimes that he could have used as an example when describing his alter ego, but he chooses to say that. I can't be the only one seeing how obvious this all is, right? Which would end up going viral online. David didn't like it, so he tried to do something unthinkable. It was announced, if anyone was wondering where David is right now, he's lurking still and literally been playing Fortnite just recently, where his account was playing multiple games of Fortnite within that same hour of that evidence leaking online. David's a competitive Fortnite player. He has been for several years, and in case you didn't know, there is a popular Fortnite tracker website where you can follow your favorite streamer and celebrity gamer tags, and you'll be identified the moment they get online, play a game, and you'll even be notified of how well they did. Once that interview went viral and everyone started talking about it, David randomly hopped on Fortnite, likely hoping that it would have took its spot in online virality. Fans even wrote, there's no way that's David's first response to all of this happening. If he knows that he's innocent, shouldn't he have gone about this in a much different way rather than letting his career dwindle down? But what David didn't know is the worst was yet to even come. Evidence files went through the LA court system, and here's what they found. You tell me if he sounds guilty, because they began the file showing the last time Celeste was seen on camera. Behind the scenes at a David concert, she would be seen hanging out with David's brother backstage. It was announced, if this video is accurate, it means Celeste was still alive on June 27th, 2024, allegedly seen backstage at a David concert alongside his brother. Look closely. She's wearing the Hello Kitty sandals. According to her missing person poster, her family noted the last time that they seen her, she was wearing Hello Kitty sandals, the same ones that she was wearing backstage at David's show. Do you believe this is enough evidence to have David sentenced for Celeste's passing? Comment down below, I'm gonna read them all, because even DJ Academics was weirded out.
Crashing. Where'd it go wrong? Ghost. Where did you go? Afterlife?
However, the feds were able to sentence Diddy to prison, but they're still coming after him for even more charges.
I'm going to disclose the facts as they are. I mean, whether they're dead or alive, I'm going to tell the same story because that's my job, is to get to the truth of the matter. My name is Greg Kading. I retired from the LAPD back in 2010.
After the release of 50 Cent's The Reckoning Diddy documentary, he would announce there's even more evidence against Diddy that he didn't even share. This would result in the Las Vegas police adding Diddy's name to the Tupac police file, which began with fans explaining Diddy wanted Tupac gone because he wanted to be Tupac.
Tupac was a shining example of everything that Diddy wanted to be, and he was that naturally. He was charismatic, he was sought after, desired, he was very well liked and a naturally likable person. He was charming, he actually had intrinsic talent, he was a star. He was what Diddy tried to force his way into becoming. Diddy, through force, through manipulation, through fear-mongering, tried to become loved and adored and liked, but all he could manage is like a twisted clone of that he was able to garner through fear. But back to my original point, he thought he triumphed over Tupac by when actually what he did was make Tupac immortal. And by Diddy continuing to live and earn more wealth and, in his mind, earn more adoration, he thought he triumphed. He thought he won overall.
This would even get a reaction from 50 Cent. It was announced 50 Cent says that it's not over. More unreleased Diddy footage that didn't make the Netflix documentary is coming to YouTube, including footage about how Diddy started a family with Tupac's ex-girlfriend. Diddy has a daughter named Chance Combs with Sarah Chapman in 2006, but she famously dated Tupac in 1995. On November 18th, 1995, Tupac was photographed with Sean Diddy Combs' baby mom, Sarah Chapman. Diddy actually described Sarah as being the one, his dream girl, but some believe he only mentioned that to get under Tupac's skin. This resulted in his first attempt of getting Tupac, which was then swept under the rug by police when it all went down.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the book. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
It's noted the investigators only looked into this matter for roughly 1 day and then swept the case under the rug and never reopened the file. With Diddy's first attempt being a failure, he would then try again, because in the Diddy trial it was announced former LAPD cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Suge retaliated by having Biggie dealt with, as evidence suggested Diddy hired Keffe D to get Tupac. Then after 20 years of walking free, when the police finally arrested Keffe D, he did an interrogation, but he didn't know that he was being recorded when confessing Diddy was the lead man of the crime.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
This would end up going viral on social media. Many fans would then share an interview from Diddy where he was confronted about being responsible for Tupac, where the entire interview turned very awkward.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
During the Diddy trial, he was even questioned about his involvement. The news wrote, Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's passing after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing because Keffe D would mention everything was Diddy's wish. He wanted Tupac gone and that it was a lot easier than he thought it would be. This would get the attention of a famous writer named Jeff Pearlman. He wrote the Tupac biography and he would claim that Tupac wasn't as tough as he portrayed and he was just playing a role, saying, quote, he couldn't even fight and he didn't even know how to use a firearm.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy. But he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
With it becoming more clear that Diddy was involved in having Tupac dealt with, 50 Cent would even react to it at his most recent concert, exposing the truth.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I was saying, last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? You saw that clip? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that kind of shit. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with the I'm saying. I said crazy no reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it about Puffy because he got Tupac killed.
However, when you investigate it further in the police records, it proves Diddy didn't act alone, and let me explain. In case you missed it, it reads, the reinvestigation of Tupac's passing is revealing new names and evidence of those involved. New name brought up is Suge Knight. This might come as a surprise, but to Eminem, he always thought this. He said in quote, I'm holding Suge responsible for the passing of the two greatest rappers on the face of the planet. If only the late Christopher Wallace could talk, he would tell you himself. As according to the new police records, it reads, Detective Russell Poole suspected Suge Knight arranged Tupac's passing before he can exit the rap label. He then framed the rival Crips to throw off investigators, raising the question of who is a famous Crip member that Suge Knight would pin Tupac's passing on. It is noted that Diddy is a part and has affiliation with the Blue Street team, but the most famous in the world is Snoop Dogg. His file is even more interesting when you learn that he was supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac on the night that he passed.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
Where Snoop mentions that he was supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac and Suge, but after a last-minute change, he didn't go. This was likely due to Snoop, Tupac, and Suge having an altercation just a few days prior.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to, prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
With all of this happening within 72 hours of Tupac's passing, it made the police pretty suspicious. They looked into Tupac and realized 2 decades ago he was heavily tapped into the streets. Some speculate that he received a tip that Tupac was going to be targeted on that night, so he avoided on getting in the car. Where the feds then found another interview of Snoop claiming 2 days before Tupac passed, he felt like he hated him.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like them. I want to do some music with them. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like trying to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with them. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. There's video footage of all of us hanging out.
But to understand who was really behind the passing of Tupac, it's important to read the updated police files of exactly how he passed. It reads, quote, on September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label, Suge Knight. The two were off to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match. After it was over, they spotted an op in the lobby of the hotel.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security would break up the altercation between Tupac, Suge, and the ops, resulting in Tupac and Suge needing to go back to their hotel to change. After being in their rooms for roughly an hour, the two would head down to the parking garage and hop into an all-black BMW. At around 11 p.m., the two began driving to the club, where things would go down right in the middle of the street while stopped at a red light.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
With the aftermath being a mystery for over 2 decades, the police investigated a concerning interview by Keefe D on DJ Vlad's show, where he would begin the interview by literally self-snitching, detailing the moments of finding Tupac, pulling up on him, and doing the crime.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was going to go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac?
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
He explained that it occurred so fast because Tupac was starting to reach for his own firearm. So somebody in Keefe D's car noticed the movement by Tupac, leaned out of the side of the window, and did the act.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car,
that's what happened,
started at Tupac and Suge.
When revealing this type of evidence on a case that has been cold for over 2 decades, many wanted more evidence to back up his claims. This is where Keefe D would then release a never-before-seen police interrogation on the night of the crime, meaning they were actually arrested. The police took Keefe D into the interrogation room and then allowed him to just leave.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you?
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then, Tupac's busy getting evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the
back seat or something.
Yeah, what do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando crossed Dre?
He leaned over on the window, we rolled down the window.
During the police's investigation, they also found Keefe D's reaction to Tupac passing, showing off his true emotions.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it f***ed up a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate that happened. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
But here's where the entire case gets very interesting. On a case that has been cold for over 2 decades, the police will have many sub-files to the original case. In one file, they have evidence proving that Tupac could still be alive, and let me explain. An interview from an officer revealed Tupac was an industry plant with the job of stopping the beef between the red and blue street teams.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
However, the plan didn't end up working, and Tupac would suddenly pass. This could make sense as to why Snoop didn't want to be near him in Las Vegas on that night with his heavy ties to the streets. But they also found an interview from 2010, this time with a rapper named Treach, where things got very weird. Treach was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before his concert. Treach and Tupac were very close friends back in the day. They even worked on a few albums together and hosted family events. But here's where it gets weird. After Treach's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording. He placed his camera onto the ground. In the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking Treach about Tupac, to which he responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question.
Nobody knows.
Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man. We good.
Last time I saw him, he was in church.
Then only 2 weeks later, a video would be released onto a news website showing a video of Tupac supposedly chilling in a parking lot inside of Cuba.
Look, zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaws. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
That's what actually created the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory, and it's been the most popular theory ever since, until today. Because now in 2026, it's not seeming like a theory anymore. Like the video if you agree, because Suge Knight said Tupac is alive and well. The same man inside of the BMW with Tupac is claiming that he's still alive. He has said so in many interviews over the course of the last 2 decades now, where he would reveal that Tupac was doing fine in the hospital before his passing, saying, quote, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone can turn from doing so well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what's weird about it is that Tupac was supposedly in a very deep sleep when arriving to the hospital, according to police records. So how would he and Suge be laughing if Tupac was sleeping? It doesn't seem to add up. However, in a 2008 interview, Suge said the exact same thing, that Tupac was alive and well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
But comment if you think Tupac is alive or has passed on. I'm gonna read them all, and like the video if you were a fan of Tupac. Curious how many of you were.